Madam President von der Leyen, it's a pleasure to have you here in the Amazon region and, of course, talking with CNN Brasil. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Very kind. First, what's your expectation for this COP30? A COP with not a lot of leaders showing up, not a lot of countries present their NDCs, with Donald Trump denying the climate change. In this scenario, what hope we have?
So first of all, I think it's fantastic to be invited here to the Amazonas, to see what the rainforests are. For me, it's the first time that I'm in this region. So I'm very, very glad to be part of this COP. And I think Laurent Fabius today put it the right way. It has to be the COP of the implementation. So we have enough good goals on paper. We have to make sure that they happen now on the ground, that the change happens on the ground, the positive one. The second is inclusion. Include cities, include regions.
Amazing.
This is very strong here. So civil society very strongly included. And the third is innovation. Innovation is a way to fight climate change, to protect nature. And these three I's are important here in this COP.
Okay. Madam President, the first deadline was February, but only now, in November, the European Union presented its NDCs. Why did it take so long, and how did you react to some critics that people said that it was not bold enough facing the climate emergency that we are?
I think it's a very ambitious NDC because if you look at the major emitters globally, you see that it is the second to none most ambitious NDC. Second, it is in line with Paris. That's always very important. And the third element is we have unanimity. All 27 member states agreed. And as it is in democracies, these are processes you have to work for. It takes time, but the final result is the most important with a unanimous vote, this NDC for the COP.
We understand how difficult it is because even European countries that in the past were examples of sustainability, at this time, they are afraid of the costs, the money, and the speed of this agenda of sustainability. Why for some countries it's so difficult to embrace this agenda, to embrace reducing emissions?
Well, I think the first part is we are well on track to reach our goal by 2030. That's very reassuring. We're 1% of already today, so we will reach our goal by 2030. And we've all cast in law together that there will be climate neutrality in the European Union by 2050. So the direction of travel is very clear to all of us. But on the way towards climate neutrality, I think we have to show flexibility and pragmatism. We've never done this before. It's a huge transformation. There are enormous and amazing business opportunities in. The whole innovation part is fascinating. But we have to learn in our way going forward. And that's something where we need reassurance over and over and over for our member states.
And you have already spoken about the importance of the private sector. But we know that many European automakers, they wrote a letter for you saying that 100% reduction in emissions for cars by 2035 was no longer feasible. What did you answer for them?
So we're in the process of discussing that.
No.
Indeed, we all agree that the future will be electric. But the transition to emission-free mobility is not an easy one. And therefore, we are now discussing what are the different ways to get there? What are the different interesting, promising technologies? We need technological neutrality because we do not know which technology will be the winning one in the very end. Mm-hmm. And I will come with a proposal before the end of the year, what that is concerned.
One of the most innovative projects that we have been discussed here in this COP30 is the TFFF, Tropical Forest Forever Facility. I'm sorry, I have to read it. How willing is the European Union to take part in this fund? In simple words, giving money for this fund, and how concerned you are about the monitoring and enforcement, the protection of forests made by the tropical countries?
So it is of utmost importance that we protect our green lungs, the forests, without any question. And we all commend President Lula for his initiative and his leadership, what that topic is concerned. The European Union in general is the largest contributor to climate finance. Last year, it was 34 billion euros, and we will stay the course. We will be reliable what that is concerned. I understand that we have to find new sources of financing. I'm a big fan of carbon pricing, for example, because we made the experience while we have carbon pricing since 2005. The economy grew, the emissions decreased, and the revenues of 250 billion euros were reinvested in innovation. So this really functions. But what we also need is get the private sector in. This is our principle, for example, with partner countries on Global Gateway, our investment program, that together with partner countries from the Global South, we create a conducive environment for the private sector, de-risking their investment to make sure, for example, that the infrastructure for renewables is put in place now. So yes, we need new financing sources, but there are ideas out there.
I understand. Of course, I have to ask you about the Mercosur European Union Free Trade Agreement. Do you think it's possible to have this signed by December, as President Lula is requesting?
I am confident. I'm still, of course, working hard on reaching that goal. It would be a fantastic message to the world that a free trade agreement, a rules-based trade agreement is possible, creating the largest market of 700 million people, consumers for products, very like-minded countries. I'm working hard on it. We still need to do some work for those who are, have concerns, but I'm very confident that we're going to make it.
Yes, these concerns, many Brazilian exporters say that we can call it green protectionism. How do you react to this, and how do you plan to solve this?
I think if we understand we're speaking about creating a level playing field for both sides, then we're going forward in the right direction, because we all like competition. Competition is good, improves the quality, brings prices down. That's all good, but it has to be fair. It has to be a level playing field for both sides. And this is what we're working on. And I'm very grateful for the outstanding cooperation of Brazil here as presidency of Mercosur. This is really going well.
But I'm sorry, just to insist in one date, do you think in December it would be possible to sign this agreement?
I'm very confident.
Oh, yeah? That's good. Well, a last question. Besides all the pain created by a war, how the war in Ukraine affected Europe's commitment to climate financing and climate ambitions?
Well, it is paradox, but the war pushed forward very strong the call for more renewable energy. As you know, we were over-dependent on Russian fossil fuels. Putin cut us off the gas. It was a huge shock for the European Union. We understood what dependency is. We had a major energy crisis, but then a major push forward, massive investment in renewable energy, because renewable energy is not only good for the planet, but it's homegrown. It creates good jobs at home, and it gives you independence. And now we have more energy produced in the European Union by renewables than by other sources. And that is very good. So as bitter as this war is, it really pushed forward the transition in the European Union towards renewable energy.
But we know that many countries return to coal, for instance.
In the European Union, we are going the way towards the clean energy. It's the low carbon energy sources that are the cheapest. We see it also in our energy mix. What drives up the energy prices in the European Union are the fossil fuels, because we have to import them. What keeps the prices down are renewables and nuclear, the low carbon energy sources. And that's the way to go.
And still about the war, when do you think we could have a ceasefire in the war in Ukraine? Depends on what?
It depends on President Putin's willingness to come and sit down at the negotiation table. President Zelensky is over and over saying very clearly that he's willing to sit down and negotiate a just and lasting peace.
how impact this have in your presidency, how impacted a war like this has in your life?
This war is an existential question, not only for the European Union, but for our rules-based order and the peace that we all are thriving for. Because here it is the question whether there is territorial integrity and sovereignty respected or not. And therefore, I'm very grateful that many, many countries outside the European Union are also supporting Ukraine, because it is the principle that there is the territorial integrity, that there is the sovereignty untouched, and this we have to respect and honor.
Madam President von der Leyen, thank you very much for talking with CNN Brazil. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.